What's up, guys? We just got done watching the Super Smash Bros. Direct, and a lot of people were trying to figure out why they needed a Direct after taking up most of E3 with Smash Bros. Ultimate. And yeah, they still have a lot to tell us. After even seeing this, I think a lot of people were surprised with how much content they packed in here. The Direct was about 26, 27 minutes long, and it was pretty consistent with content being packed in. Seriously, this game that they're putting in front of us, Smash Bros. Ultimate, is massively packed with stuff, and there's still some stuff they need to tell us because, as people pointed out on the main screen, they didn't show us everything because part of it was kind of blurred. So they still have some stuff they need to tell us or show us. And it's going to be interesting because we're still about 4 months out from the release. They still have time to hit us with more characters or more modes or a beta. The beta is weird that they didn't announce or tell us about if they're having one, because I figure that this is a game that they'd want to get right day one with their networking stuff. But we'll get into all of that. Let's talk about everything that took place here on the stream, starting right away with the initial announcement. They started off strong, right? They really did. I actually think they probably could have flipped the announcements from the end and the beginning, because I think the beginning characters were probably the ones that were a little more out of left field for people, because it was technically not a, Nintendo character, essentially. It is a Konami character, or two of them actually, which was probably the biggest surprise, and that is from the Castlevania series. Simon Belmont, while we did hear about Castlevania inclusion for Smash Bros. When we heard about the leaked video that was up on Nintendo's site that was unlisted, and it was music that pointed to a Castlevania reveal for this Direct, yes, Simon Belmont and Richter Belmont. Yeah, the two of them actually entering. Richter is an EKKO fighter of Simon, but still, they're both there, and you can play as either of them. They also have a brand new stage, obviously, because they usually bring in a stage for different characters. And it looks pretty cool because they have different bosses from the Castlevania series that kind of jump in. Even Dracula, you fight all these different people while you're battling your friends or whatnot. These different bosses will pop up and just kind of mess you up as you try to play. It looks really cool. I like the inclusion of Simon Belmont. I think that's really neat to see. Obviously, a very iconic character in the video gaming world, was on the original Nintendo, as we saw, and other platforms as well, like the DS and everything, the 3DS. So yes, that makes a lot of sense to bring them in, and I think it's really cool. Alucard's also an assist trophy. Kind of neat. I was thinking in my mind, it's like, wouldn't it be kind of a curveball to bring in Alucard instead of Simon? But I do think Simon, of course, is the most iconic character in Castlevania that they would want to bring in. And they're doing 34 tracks of music for this one stage, because according to Sakurai, their staff was really excited to be able to work with the Castlevania music because they're big fans, and that is a lot. And we have to talk about the music because this is insanity how much music they're packing into this game. 900 tracks. They said over 900 tracks, but the show is 900 tracks. 28 hours of music from start to finish. You played everything in a row. That is insane. They should do a special edition and give you like 36 CDs or something. It'd be hilarious to see, but this is impressive just from the audio side because that's so much music in one game. We keep talking about this game with how much stuff they're packing in, but when they really sat down and said, look, this is the amount of music we have in this game, and really put into perspective just how much content they're packing into the $60 game. Some of the other EKKO fighters that they announced here was Chrom from the Fire Emblem series, was actually an EKKO fighter for Roy. Dark Samus from the Metroid games, obviously, EKKO fighter for Samus. Now showed us a ton of stages. There are over 100 stages in this game. They compare it to the older ones. Yeah, this one, massive amount. They also have something called stage morph, where the different levels will morph into new levels as you're fighting and everything. You can turn it on and off. And that was something else that I feel like some people may have looked at and just said, oh, okay, that's cool. The amount of customization in this game is staggering. Seriously, they showed you customizing everything, and it was really cool to see. They have a full tournament mode. They have a mode where your characters will be eliminated as you choose them to fight against other people. They have a mode that was basically tag in and out, where you have different people rotating. There is so much stuff in this game and customization in this game, ways to play against your friends. And this is turning into not only the ultimate Smash Bros. Game, but like the ultimate multiplayer game to just play with your friends when they come over. They also showed off a bunch of new items. None of them were like super iconic or anything like that. They were just kind of cool little items they threw in that would do things like change depending on how much damage you had. They had a banana that's like a one-shot that like shoots out, I guess, the banana, and then you throw the peel down. A scythe that will actually eliminate players if they have a certain amount of, I guess, percentage, or they're a certain amount of percentage over, like maybe they're over, 150%, the thing will just knock them straight out if you hit them with it. So they added a bunch of items, but it was nothing that was like, whoa, that's really cool because that's from this series. They also introduced a ton of Pokemon, including Ditto, and Abra. And Abra's going to be annoying, I can already tell, because he already was annoying in Pokemon because he would teleport away from you when you're trying to capture him, but now he's teleporting and taking you off the edge, for example, and just dropping you in different places. So I feel like Abra's going to come back to haunt me after having to try to catch him back in the 90s, and here he is now, possibly ruining my game of Smash. A ton of assist trophies were also announced. Zero from the Mega Man X series, Knuckles, Crystal from Star Fox Adventures. That one threw me off a little bit there. They also brought in some Monster Hunter inclusion with Rathalos. They also have Shovel Knight, and then apparently the Evil Moon from Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. I would have liked to have seen Zero just included as a character in general, but I guess with what they were doing, they were like, let's put the assist trophy in, and it'll give some X representation. Technically, Mega Man's there, and the whole series of Mega Man will drop down and help him with his final smash. So I guess it would be kind of awkward to just have X and then Mega Man as well. But Zero would have been really cool to see enter in as a playable character, but I guess as an assist trophy is technically the next best thing. Story mode is something that a lot of people want, the single player mode. Sadly, they did not introduce it here. Now, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist or it's not in the game. They just didn't show it to us here. They showed us the classic single player mode that you might remember from, like, obviously the older ones with like the N64, where they had classic mode that you would play through, GameCube version and everything, where you essentially just go through, fight different stages against the computer, probably different scenarios as well, where they have, you got to fight 30 of the polygon team or whatnot. So they'll have a full classic mode. Nothing on that single player. I think I would have liked to have seen like that adventure mode introduced here, but again, there were some things they weren't showing us from that main menu, although I think that has more to do with the online for the game, because they haven't talked at all really about the online. I think that is what that option was that people are pointing out that was blurred, and not necessarily the adventure mode. But again, we'll have to see more here if there is an adventure mode or not. I like the training mode that they showed, because it looked like there's going to be a ton of stuff to customize and kind of figure things out. Training mode in fighting games is extremely important, because then you can obviously figure out combos, ways to, in this case, knock people off. How much damage does this do? How far will this send them flying? There's a lot to kind of pick up from the training mode, and it looks like they give you all of the tools to figure that out, where they have, even when you hit them and you smash them and you knock them back, it has trajectories based on percentages. They have how high can you jump and everything. It is very detailed for people who are really going to get into this at an esports level, and that's going to be a lot of people. This game is going to make the rounds because it's probably, it's Smash Bros. Ultimate. It literally is the ultimate version of like all the Smash Bros. Games in one. And they closed out the entire direct with King K. Rool, who was a character I kept seeing on Twitter, I kept seeing on forums where people were like, let's get King K. Rool in there, from the Donkey Kong series. Of course, the big bad villain from Donkey Kong Country 1 through 3 that I remember having to fight on the NES. It's really cool to see him added in. I know, I saw it in the chat. Where's Waluigi? Where's Waluigi? Where's Goku? Where's... King K. Rool is a little more down to earth. Seriously, as a Nintendo character, it has a ton of history on the just in Nintendo in general. So that makes a lot of sense. I'm sure there's a lot of people who would have been confused or even frustrated if someone like Goku or Sora were added and King K. Rool was not. And again, guys, there's still time for other characters to be announced. I have a feeling we're going to see quite a few more announced, actually, as we lead into the series when it's going to launch, of course, December 7th. So we're still like 4 months off here, guys. There's still a lot of time to get more characters out. I'm sure they will probably drop some Smash characters into other directs coming up. I think there's going to be a big fall direct, probably in the first week to 10 days of September, so look for it then. And yes, I'm sure Sakurai will pop up, tired eyes and all, and tell us about more characters. That guy probably needs to go on a vacation soon, because the amount of content packed in the $60 game is almost becoming overwhelming. So if you're a Smash fan, you have to be like excited at like crazy. You have to be like over the moon as to what you're seeing here, because this is on like a next level of fighting games. This is, as the title implies, the ultimate version of Smash Bros. But I'm very curious what you guys thought about the entire Direct. I know some people were tired about seeing more Smash, but some people might be excited because Castlevania has big representation here, right? King K. Rool gets added, tons of assist trophies, tons of modes, tons of stages, over 900 tracks of music, 28 hours. It is insane the amount of content, and we still haven't heard anything about the online. That's where things get even crazier. Like, they're going to probably talk about a big online mode to this as well, whether it's, you know, the different regions of the world battle against each other, maybe all the tournament stuff online. There's so much stuff they can do here, and if they really do announce a beta, which they could just drop in a Direct, like I said, then that's going to get people even more excited. This should be, looking at it, the best-selling Smash Bros. That they've ever seen, and then they could even add DLC after the fact when we have 70-something characters already, and then they start dropping DLC after it comes out. This, looking at it, with EKKO Fighters and all, could turn out to be a Smash game that has nearly 100 characters on one character select screen, and that is going to be absolutely insane. But let me know your guys' thoughts down below about the Direct. Make sure you guys like the video if you enjoyed it, dislike it if not, and I'll see you guys in the next video.